Hello and welcome to The Secret of Online Sales Funnels. I'm Rachel Howarth, the founder of My Sales Mentor, and I've trained over 1,000 people to sell. Before the video begins, head to the worksheet area and download it because you'll find it really helpful to follow the video and the worksheet questions at the same time. It'll help you to take better quality notes. Once the masterclass has ended, there'll be some quiz questions for you to answer. Now you'll want to do this as well as you possibly can because I read every single quiz reply and occasionally I reward great replies with prizes. But now I think it's time for us to head into the masterclass, The Secret of Online Sales Funnels. Let's go. So understanding online sales funnels is really important, but it's not as important as understanding how to leverage them for your success. I want to kick off our masterclass by asking you to imagine what it would be like to live life as a hungry bear, living in the mountains, having to head to the river to hunt for fish so that you could feed your family of bears. You might be smiling to yourself now, thinking, well, actually, Rachel, every day is like that because every day I need to feed my family of bears and every day I have to hustle for it. Every day I don't know whether it's the day where I sign a new client or fill my program. But we're not bears, are we? We're coaches, consultants or service sellers, and we've booked onto this webinar to learn more about sales funnels and how to leverage them for our success. You might be facing some change in your business due to COVID-19. You might have recognised that you no longer want to swap time for money. You recognise that that puts a ceiling on your business success. You might be finding that passive income is your focus right now and you want to make that a priority because waking up in the morning to bookings and orders feels like a nice thing to do. Whatever your reason for wanting to understand the secrets behind online sales funnels, I'm seriously glad that you're here. So does this sound like you today? You show up on social media, you write all the copy, you send all the emails, you hang out in the DMs, but you think there must be another way because it still feels difficult. It still feels like pushing treacle uphill. It still feels harder than it needs to feel. And you're done with the hustle. You want to ditch the doubt, lift the fog from funnels, and find that way forward that makes it feel easier. And you know that it's possible. And I'm telling you it is possible. And sales funnels is your way to do it. But before we go any further, you need to know why you can trust my advice. I've had 25 years in sales. Most of them were in corporate, but 5 of them were as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. I've trained over 1,000 people on how to sell and how to negotiate. And I now spend my time equipping, enabling and empowering women just like you. Where I am at my most effective, my absolute sweet spot for bulletproof success is with service sellers, coaches, consultants, virtual assistants, and anybody who sells their time for money. I'm frequently referred to as the Queen of Sales, which always makes me smile. But all jokes aside, the most important thing to me is return on investment. And that investment doesn't have to be a financial investment. ROI can be financial, emotional, or a time investment. Like you today, you're spending your time on this masterclass learning from me. So I will do my absolute best for you to make sure that I explain it in enough detail for what you need. And if you have any questions afterwards, please ask me those questions in the quiz area and I will come back to you. Okay, so let's come back to our hungry bear. Think about what life would be like as a hungry bear. If we were a hungry bear, with a hungry family, we would want to find fish in the place most likely to get us fed. Would that be the ocean where the competition is high, or in the river where the conversion is low because there's lots of other animals hunting in the river, or would we be the clever bear and we would wait in the stream where success is epic? Why is it epic in the stream? Because all the salmon swim uphill and collect in the stream, where the hungry bear can get fed and take enough fish to feed their whole family. So think of your sales funnel as a system of moving your ideal client from being aware of you to buying from you. You begin with the ocean, that's your audience. You refine to identify your ideal clients. You refine further to find the best fit clients. You refine further again to find the ideal clients who've got the greatest desire to work with you, the biggest motivation, the strongest urgency, the biggest commitment, the budget to make it happen, and the belief in the value that they'll get from working with you. But sales is about authenticity and building relationships. So we don't want a style of hunting for clients that resembles a big grizzly bear. We want a style that's a little bit more cute and cuddly. So I'm going to get rid of the pictures of the big grizzly now and replace it with a lovely cuddly teddy bear to remind us that sales is about putting the customer first. Sales is about making sure that you understand their problem and that you're able to solve it and that you agree a way forward together. We know from our own experiences of being a buyer of goods and services that the shouty, sleazy, spammy, salesy approach only makes us want to ignore the salesperson. And if we're doing that, and I don't think any of you watching this masterclass will be doing that, but if our client feels that way, that's when they ghost us. That's when we don't hear back. That is when we get the crickets. On the other side of the funnel that you see here on the screen, we've got the authentic sales journey. We've got the understanding, the authentic listening, the personalized service, and the inspiring sales pitch. That is what leads to sales success. Okay, so let me introduce you to the 5 C's of authentic selling. The first C is consistency. That is the way that we show up on social media. Do we show up consistently? Can our audience rely on seeing our posts, on seeing our stories, on seeing us there to support and serve them on social media? That demonstrates to them that we are reliable. So consistency is a really, really big factor in authentic selling. The next C is content of value. Don't post for the sake of posting. Make sure that when you do post on social media, that you post content of value. Content that demonstrates that you can solve your client's problem. You can help them reach their goals. You can overcome their challenges with them. And that you've done it all before. Social proof and client reviews mean the world. So make sure that you're posting those and you're delivering value through your social media. The third C is your credentials. This is your story, your experience, your unique gift to your clients is your credentials. You are your own USP. You don't need to look at what other people are doing. Comparisonitis needs to leave your world. Don't worry about anybody else. Stay in your lane, recognize your credentials, and be comfortable that your gift to your clients is unique and high value. The fourth C is conversation. We need to be having regular, consistent, and authentic conversation with our clients. So what do I mean by authentic conversation? I mean building a relationship slowly, not charging into the DMs with a huge email with multiple paragraphs and lots of links, lots of invitations to download PDFs and join groups. That's not authentic conversation. That's the shouty, sleazy sales pitch DM that doesn't get replied to. What we need to do is build authentic conversation through regularly showing up in the DMs, showing an interest in somebody's stories and somebody's posts, and just being there to be a sounding board, offering some advice, leading with value, not too much value because then they won't value you when you pitch your services, but you need to have authentic conversation to build a strong relationship. The fifth C is call to action. On every post that we put out on each social media channel that we engage in, there needs to be a call to action. Doesn't necessarily, again, need to be a sales pitch, but it does need to be a what happens next. It could be as simple as comment below, tag a friend, DM me, It could be an invitation to a webinar, it could be an invitation to an event, but either way, there needs to be a call to action to help move your relationship slowly forward. So let's get back to our sales funnel. Authentic selling happens where we put the client first. So instead of us thinking about the bear in our sales funnel, let's start thinking about the salmon. The salmon in my story represents your ideal customer. So, what do we know about salmon? They swim upstream. They know that it's difficult, but they are brave and they are courageous. They are willing, determined, and the ones that make it are the strongest. Now that definitely sounds like a great ideal client to me. We don't want a queue of ideal clients that are the wrong clients for us. We want the best clients, the most committed, the most courageous, the most determined, because they are going to be the best clients for us to work with. So let me ask you this. How would your sales funnel look if it were only filled with the strongest, most courageous, brave and determined clients? How would that look to you? Would those clients be easier to convert? Would that give you less hustle? Would selling suddenly be joyous? Would you look forward to selling? Whereas at the moment, if you're like most of my clients who tell me they hate it, you don't look forward to selling at all because it feels sleazy and awkward and salesy and pushy and all those yucky things that we don't want to be. But if our sales funnel was filled with the most determined clients, then that would make it so much easier for us to convert them into paying clients. Okay, so I promised you some secrets. I have 3. Here's number 1. Make each stage of your sales funnel just that little bit more tricky. You could make your discovery calls application only. You could interview your clients for best fit. You could be really explicit about who your services are for and who they're not for. I definitely recommend avoiding overselling, and I'd also recommend sharing any drawbacks of a service, any reasons why a service that you offer might not be good for somebody. The very last suggestion there on the slide is to put hard deadlines in place. Don't make it too easy to blur the lines, and don't extend deadlines once you've put them in place. So to give your client the opportunity to demonstrate their commitment and determination to work with you, make sure that you make your sales funnel just that little bit more tricky. Secret number 2 is to set really clear conversion rate goals for yourself. How many ideal clients do you have at stage 1 and how many convert to stage 2? How many convert at each stage of your sales funnel? You might have 3 stages, 4 stages, you might have more than that. Calculate your conversion goals for each price point of the service that you offer. So for example, you might have the standard price, but you also might give a discount for anybody that buys within 24 hours and a different discount for anybody that buys within the first 72 hours, for example. Calculate your conversion rates for each price point so that you can work out what's successful and what's not. And don't forget, the higher the price point, the more stages that you might need. For anything low to mid price point, then an online checkout is good enough. But for anything, for example, over $1,000, I would offer a discovery call. Now, the thing about us entrepreneurial women is that we are seriously ambitious. And because of that, one of the things that we often forget to do is to stop and track and review the statistics. So my advice to you in Secret 3 is to review the actuals versus the goal. How did things actually work out when you look back at your launch or you look back at your sales process? How did things actually work out for you? Consider where you can increase your conversion percentage. Can you learn and get feedback from the clients who bought and from the clients who didn't buy? What can you learn from that feedback? What can you learn that will make your next launch even better? Please don't forget that your first launch is always the hardest. The second and the third will probably still be a little tricky, but by the time you're on to the 4th, I promise you it will get easier. But that third secret is so important to stop, reflect, and learn. Okay, so before I give you a very special invitation to skyrocket your sales funnels even further, let's do a quick recap. We talked earlier about the 5 C's and how using the 5 C's will add authenticity to your sales strategy. Those 5 C's are consistency, content of value, credentials, conversation, and call to action, and all are equally important. The first of my sales funnel secrets was to make each stage of your sales funnel just that little bit more tricky, which will qualify only the best clients making it through, the most determined, the most courageous. It's the most determined and courageous that will find the urgency and the investment to want to work with you. The second of my sales funnel secrets was for you to set out clear conversion goals at every stage of your funnel. And the third secret was just a reminder for you to stop and reflect and to track your conversion and look for opportunities to boost that conversion percentage even further, giving you the greatest chance for sales success. If you use this advice wisely in your business, I promise you, in fact I guarantee you, that you will see an increase in client numbers and most importantly, in revenue. How do I know this? Well, because I used to manage a team of 60 staff and collectively we hit budgets of 100 million every year. Each week in my team, we had to invoice 2 million British pounds, and that was really tough in the market that we were in. We did a great job of achieving those goals, and I know that the advice that I've given you here today is part of the reason for the success that I had in that team. And just to remind you, I've trained over 1,000 people, and I've had the feedback that my sales advice has transformed sales results by upwards of 250% year on year. So with that said, I've got a very special invitation for you. Because you have proved yourself to be the strongest, most courageous, brave, and determined learners, I'd love to help you up-level your sales revenue and get even more sales confident with me. I hope that sounds like a very exciting proposition, because I am very excited to invite you to join me in the Authentic Sales Success School. It's a monthly membership for coaches, consultants, and service sellers, and you are invited. Okay, so let me tell you about what goes on in the Authentic Sales Success School. We meet on the first and third week of the month. All the sessions are held on Zoom in a small, intimate group so that we can build relationships and really get to know each other. Every month you'll get a sales masterclass with me. You'll also get your own class report and accountability. There's a member spotlight for show and tell. There's a Teacher's Pet Award, which is lots of fun. And you'll get preferential rates on one-to-one support if you should need it. In addition to all of that, there's a private Facebook group where you can get 24/7 support from me and your classmates. This is one class that you are not going to want to skip. We're enrolling in Authentic Sales Success School now, and you get your membership for half price. The usual investment is $95 a month or $950 for the year, so you get 2 months for free. And you are invited to pay half price using the codes that you see on screen. I will be sending out an email specially to you, reconfirming these codes and giving you a special VIP link to use as a very, very special thank you for watching the masterclass on the secrets of online sales funnels. Thank you ever so much for being here. I really appreciate your time. My promise to you about the Authentic Sales Success School is that my guidance will be personal. It is a small group. My framework for authentic, results-driven sales success really do work, and I would love you to enroll in school. My biggest priority will be to get you a return on your investment. I hope to see you in class. I hope to see you on social media. Stay safe, happy selling, and I will see you soon.